through investment in youth. On the sidelines of the summit, the head of state will hold talks with a number of African leaders and government representatives. He is also expected to sign an agreement on combating corruption. Egypt's ambassador to Ethiopia said Cairo is adamant on combating corruption, which is considered as a major obstacle to economic and social development in the African continent. Several crises in the continent will also be on the summit's agenda, such as turmoil in Libya, radicalism in Mali, Somalia and Nigeria, and ongoing political tensions in the Democratic Republic of Congo. South Sudan peace efforts will also top the agenda of the summit, which will mull a divisive bid by Morocco to rejoin the bloc. The AU's 54 member states will have to elect a new chairperson after failing to do so at a summit 6 months ago. And to tell us more about the summit, Linda Abdulatif joins us live now from the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. Linda, if you can tell us a little bit more about what's to top the agenda of talks.
Well, good evening, Nancy. And just tell you that President arrived in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, a couple of hours ago. Well, he will be participating tomorrow and after tomorrow in the 28th African Union Summit taking place in the Ethiopian capital. Now, after a while from now, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will be meeting with the President of Kenya as well as the President of Congo. Now, as for tomorrow, you know that, as I mentioned, the 28th African Union Summit will kick off under the theme harnessing the demographic dividends through investments in the youth. And this can be done indeed by promoting transformative and inclusive development agendas aimed at recognizing the efforts of the youth in entrepreneurship and innovation. Now, also, there are a wide range of topics that are on top of the agenda of the 28th African Union Summit. And on top of which, let me just tell you that it is the consideration of the request by Morocco to become a member state of the African Union. You know that Morocco has indeed withdrew from the African Union back in 1984, and as a result, or after protesting the acceptance of the African Union for the membership of the Polisario, which calls for the separation of Western Sahara from Morocco. So they will consider the request by or of the King of Morocco for Morocco to become a member state of the African Union. Also on top of the agenda is the elections of the chairperson of the African Union Commission and the deputy chairperson of the African Union Commission. You know that during the 27th African Union Summit that took place back in July of 2016, these elections were supposed to take place, but because none of the candidates have gathered 2/3 of the votes, they postponed this elections till the 28th African Union Summit that will take place tomorrow. Now, also other topics that are on the agenda, they will be considering the report of the Commission on the implementation of a decision on financing the African Union that was adopted in Kigali, Rwanda, back in the 27th African Union. You know that the Assembly back then decided to institute and implement a 0.2% levy on all eligible imported goods into the continent to finance the operational program and peace support operations budgets starting from the year 2017. Also, they will be tackling or discussing the report of the Commission on the Continental Free Trade Area. Also, back in the 27th Ordinary Session, they adopted, let's say, the summit indeed requested the Commission to present feasible options on how to eliminate non-trade barriers among African countries to foster the intra-African trade. Now, also during this summit, they will be electing the Bureau of the Assembly of the African Union, and indeed, in the second day, there will also be a number of meetings that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, or let me just mention something. Tomorrow, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will be meeting on the sidelines of the 28th African Union Conference or summit with the Zambian president, and also he will be meeting as well on the sidelines of the summit with the Ethiopian Prime Minister. And on Tuesday, the president will be heading the meeting that will be held by the Committee of African Heads of State and Government on Climate Change. And in that regard, the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will adopt the report on climate change.
Okay, thank you very much. Linda Abdel Latif there live from the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. Thank you very much.
On the sidelines of the African Union 28th summit taking place in Ethiopia, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry held a number of meetings with his African counterparts. Shoukry met with his Nigerian counterpart, Geoffrey Onema, where they discussed a number of regional issues of mutual concern. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ahmed Abu Zaid said that the meeting had tackled means of boosting bilateral cooperation in various domains. Abu Zaid added that the top diplomat had told his Nigerian counterpart that Egypt supports Nigeria in the fight against terrorism. On Friday, Shoukry met with his counterparts from Ethiopia, Sudan, Algeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Senegal, Burundi, Gabon, and Equatorial Guinea for talks that centered on boosting relations and cooperation.
Upon the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Rafah border crossing remains open for the second consecutive day on both sides and through to the 31st of January. Opening the crossing will allow those stranded on either side to cross over and will also facilitate the passage of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. And in other news, Israeli occupation forces shot dead a 17-year-old during a clash in the West Bank on Sunday. Palestinian hospital officials said the martyr had been killed and 5 others injured by the Israeli gunfire in an area of the Jenin refugee camp. Rights groups have accused Israeli authorities of using excessive force in some